welcome to Headbanger Sports. We're here with Adam Kopley, who is the Global Associate Director for DeMarini Louisville Baseball and Softball Bats. Adam's taking a little bit of time out of his day today to kind of sit with us and go over the new changes for all the new DeMarini and Louisville baseball bats that are coming out. We're going to really kind of focus more along the lines of the DeMarini side of things and the changes that have been made to better all the products. It sounds to me like you pretty much listened to what your consumer was asking you, and we are headed in a very, very, very good direction with the baseball lineup this year.
Yeah, definitely. We made some pretty robust changes this year, more extensive than what we did last year. But, the issue going into the gold model of the Voodoo last year was, along the same lines of what we're dealing with now with the knob, breaking more than it should. If you look at percentages with how many bats were in the market, it wasn't a huge gross number. But when you sell a lot of bats, it starts adding up. And obviously perception is everything. So we went back to the drawing board and we created a knob that I believe you guys can see the image, that basically has a metallic insert inside of it. So hypothetically, it should be somewhat indestructible. We've done some pretty extensive testing with our D1 programs. We've put hundreds of bats into the market, and pretty much every replacement bat that we've put out since March has had this new knob technology on it, and we haven't seen anything come back yet. So fingers crossed, we are in the clear, and we've got a knob that will hold up on game day, in practice, anything that you want to do with it. You want to flip your bat 20 feet in the air, and it should not break. So I think people are accustomed to, composite barrels, spider webbing, cracking, breaks at the connection. Like that's like something that people have become used to as being weak points on bats. But when you start having knobs break or end caps break, then that's like something's wrong with the product. So, obviously, our goal here is to put a product out there that performs at the performance limit, is great for players. And I think, we've done that, and now we've just made it even better. So that's definitely the goal with the model that we're launching at the beginning of August.
Yeah, you hit on a good point there with the more bats that you sell, the bigger the issues that you're going to have, and the more robust the image is going to look like to me, because we've sold a ton of them locally. We sold probably 2,000 or 3,000 of them within the company itself last year. And I would say that we've probably only had 4 or 5 different requests, maybe a month on a broken bat. So I know the image is there and people are talking about it, but just talk to me about your percentage, like your warranty return process, and like what that's going to be this year as compared to what it was last year, and then where you're going to go kind of in the future with this.
Sure. And I would say that our warranty process, other than being pretty quick, was pretty on par with the other major bat sellers in the marketplace, where you get basically a 365-day warranty from the date of purchase. Prior to last year, the process was you would pay to ship your bat back, and then we would overnight your back, a replacement to you once we received your bat. So, over the course of this year, we kind of changed up our process, because we saw, we read the reviews that we see online, obviously social media. We've got a whole marketing team that sees, anyone who's got a grievance or a complaint like that does reach everyone at corporate, and we want to make, changes, and we don't want to do things that upset our customers. So over the course of last year, we started providing you fill out your form online for your warranty claim. You immediately get a return shipping label sent to your email address. Your only job at that point is to put the bat in a box and drop it off at a UPS location. I mean, that's all you have to do. It's as simple as we can make it. So you drop your bat off, the bat gets to us. We inspect the bat. If it's something that we can fix, or if it's not actually broken, we give you the option to use at this point in time, we will give you the option to do your one warranty replacement if you want to do it. And then we send you a warranty replacement bat or a repaired bat. Now, we'll not only have the 365-day warranty that, pretty much everyone has, but we will be doing unlimited replacements. So if you're breaking your bat every 2 months, and in the past, you get your one warranty replacement, and then you're kind of out of luck at that point, you could break your bat 30 times in 1 year, hypothetically. I hope you're not doing that. I don't know what you would have to be doing, or what kind of size human you'd have to be doing that. But if you did, you would continually get replacements until that 365 days has expired. So obviously, you look at the marketplace, and we talked a little bit earlier about percentages, so even if we see a single digit return rate, because of a broken knob, you extrapolate that out over thousands of bats. I mean, that's a lot of kids breaking their knobs, and it's become kind of like a thing that gets amplified through social media, that, to talk about my knob broke, my knob broke, my bat broke, I broke this. And so, it looks, I want to say it looks worse than it might be, but regardless, we've made significant changes, as you can see in this image. Like we went from a full, composite knob to basically a hybrid knob with composite materials and metal on the inside that we feel extremely confident in. And then once again, if you need a replacement for any reason, if it's a BBCOR model, either on the Slugger side or the DeMarini side, we will replace that as many times as you need throughout the course of a year. And so this is all our effort to, just build back trust with our customers. Like everything that we do, every single thing that comes out of Wilson Sporting Goods, which, oversees DeMarini and Louisville Slugger, every single thing we ask ourselves is, does the player love it? Does the player like it? Is this something the player wants? It's all focused around that. So obviously kids don't want their bats breaking. They don't want to, walk back to pick up their bat after hitting a home run and see that the knob's missing or their cap is broken or that there's a dent. So there's some things that are unavoidable, but at the same time, there's things that we can do on our end to make that, process better for the player. We're going to do it. And I think that, with the extended warranty, the new knob, I think we're doing everything that we possibly can. And if there's more ideas that you guys have, feel free to share them with me. But I think we're doing everything we can to be good for our customers, to kind of rebuild that trust. If there was some trust missing from, some of the kids, you see them, they're like, this is my third Voodoo. And like, I love that you've, stuck with us for 3 bats, but at the same time, I don't want it to be because of breakage. And I think we've really made some significant strides to remedy that.
So with the change in the actual knob itself, do you picture any kind of differences in swing weighting with the Voodoo, or do you think it's going to be pretty dead on to what it's been in previous years?
There's going to be some slight change to the weighting of the bat. I mean, when we add weight to the knob, obviously it's going to add weight to the overall structure of the bat, but at the same time, we can shave off weight from the end cap. So if anything, I would say the MOI is still going to remain, extremely balanced. I mean, if you look at the Voodoo 1 compared to a lot of the other bats in the marketplace, it is one of the lightest swinging bats you can get, even comparable to like on the Slugger side. Like we have our Atlas bat, which is a great one-piece aluminum bat also, but it swings a little bit heavier. Same with like our Goods, which we target a kind of stronger hitter with our Goods, both the hybrid and the one-piece. So to me, the Voodoo will remain the most perfect bat for majority of players in the marketplace. I mean, if you're a massive guy that's going D1 and you're swinging in the 4 spot, I mean, get yourself an end-loaded bat, swing the Goods, like you can do it. But majority of kids in high school, the Voodoo 1 is going to be, in our opinion, the most consistent, perfect bat for someone who can get on base and find those gaps. And it's also going to have the performance for, someone who is strong is going to be able to get great exit velo. I mean, that bat is at the performance limit. We cannot make a hotter bat and remain legal than what the Voodoo 1 is. It is a phenomenal product in every capacity. And I think honestly, like additional weight right at the hands, I mean, it's really insignificant. If you were to look at an MOI scale, it's going to swing very similar to last year's, but just the slight difference in the hands is probably going to, add even a little bit of extra distance. I think that kids are going to love this product when it hits the market.
I know we're excited to hear that. Obviously, as a retailer, with you, Bat Jesus, and we like to hear that the constant growth and the technology is something that you guys are listening to, and you're listening to your market, and that makes us happy as a retailer. And I think that the customers are going to love you for it as well. Going into the Voodoo versus the Atlas, what is your personal decision there, and what is the differences in the two when you're talking with your engineering team?
Yeah, so when it comes to our engineering teams, we actually have 2 separate full R&D groups, one with the guys in DeMarini and one with the guys on Slugger. And as much as they're under the same umbrella and the same company, they want to beat each other probably more than they want to beat the other guys out there. It's very competitive within the group. So when the one-piece Voodoo kind of came on strong as the dominant bat in the marketplace, the guys at Slugger were having nothing to do with that. They came out with the Atlas, and they obviously focused on some of the things that were different than the Voodoo. Like we said earlier, like the Voodoo is extremely balanced, easy to swing bat. The Atlas is a little bit more end-loaded, but that's going to benefit the kid that can handle that, and they're going to get a little bit extra power. And I would say the Atlas, from a feel standpoint, is going to be a little bit more forgiving than what's going on with the Voodoo. The Atlas actually has a like a harmonic, like a dampener inside that dampens vibrations from a mishit on the barrel, even just like a slightly off hit on the barrel. As that vibration comes through the hands, there's a piece inside that barrel that's inside the handle, between the barrel and the handle, that's going to reduce that vibration. Like the Voodoo doesn't have that. So from a feel standpoint, the Atlas I would give the edge on feel, but I mean, I love the Voodoo. It's been one of my favorite bats since forever. I mean, I'm not the best hitter in the world, but when I go out on a field and I'm swinging all our bats to see which one works the best for me, like it almost always is the Voodoo. I was a leadoff guy back in the day, definitely an on base hitter, find the gaps, and the Voodoo to me is an easy to swing bat. I mean, it hits the ball hard, it sounds awesome. Um, I'm a one piece guy for sure. I mean, I grew up without the option of composites or hybrid bats. So I'm always going to be a one piece guy, but I think I would still pick the Voodoo over the Atlas, but they're both awesome choices.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the consumer market has kind of showed that there is a need for both of them at every different level, all the way up through. And there, you have the guys that are swinging the goods that probably shouldn't be swinging the goods, and guys that should be swinging balanced bats. The Voodoo is definitely the way to go in our opinion. And then the Atlas is kind of that middle ground between like a really, really, really powerful end of loaded hitter or somebody that is like you said, kind of a contact hitter that's looking for something that's a little bit more forgiving and is going to give you a little bit more performance on miss hits. I don't really have that much else. I know we just wanted to kind of hit on all of that. Is there anything that you wanted to portray to the customer base? And I mean, I know we're going to get this out to all of our sales reps and all of our eyes out there. So I wanted to give you an opportunity just to, do whatever you want to do and say whatever you want to say.
Sure. I mean, I guess what I'll say is if you look at our lineup, I mean, not just BBCOR, USSSA, USA, Fast Pitch, whatever, we make a lot of different bats. And if you look at our portfolio between both brands, I mean, we make a ton of bats. And there's a reason for that. I mean, there's not a one size fits all bat. And as much as we love, the social media influence that you see out there, just because one bat's number one for one guy or one girl, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for someone else. And that's why there's a lot of parity within our line. So if you look at like the Goods is a great example, the Goods half and a half bat. When that bat came on real strong 3 years ago, and that was the bat everybody wanted, I was happy because it's, of course, it's a bat that we produce. It's a bat that we're proud of to make. But in my mind, I was like, we designed this bat. We designed this bat for strong college, bound hitters. This isn't the bat that is going to be good for a kid that's 140, 150 pounds necessarily. But we saw a lot of kids having success with the bat and maybe adjusting their swing style to be able to swing a Goods one piece or a Goods half and half. I think a lot of kids just got attracted to that bat because it was the first one on the market, I think, in maybe a long time that I can remember, at least with that vertical graphic. So at a demo day, kids would see it on the ground and be like, that's a cool looking bat. I want to try it. So when that bat took off, I was like, man, it's great that this bat's doing well. But like, honestly, this is a 3-4 spot bat. This isn't a bat that we necessarily want every kid in the lineup swinging across the board. So when the Voodoo started taking off, I was like, oh, perfect. Like, this is such a balanced bat. Like, this is going to give kids a true opportunity to be successful on the field. But long story short is that there's not one size fits all at all. I mean, if you have the opportunity to go to a demo day or a demo event that we're doing, and we're going to be doing a lot of demos around the country, like that's going to be a huge initiative for us this year is to get bats in kids' hands, to test their exit velos with different bats. Because what's wild is if you do that, you'll often surprise yourself. You'll think that this bat is the bat I'm hitting the best with, and then you'll see that something else is giving you 3 or 4 miles per hour extra exit velo, and then in some cases that's the bat you should be going with. Ultimately, you should leave the field or leave the store with a bat that you feel confident in, that you're going to go to the plate and feel good about. And that's not always the bat that's going to give you the best exit velo. Sometimes it's a sound thing. Sometimes it's a feel thing. If you want the 2-piece versus the 1-piece, obviously you get a little bit more forgiveness. But ultimately, what everybody should be doing is testing bats themselves. Like, you should approach your bat as the most important single thing that you're going to have to be successful offensively in baseball. And before you buy something, you should test it out and test out all the competition and see what fits your style of swing the best. So, and that's not one bat for everyone, I promise you that. And that's why we have so many bats to choose from. But if you have the opportunity, test the bats. If you can do it in front of a Hit Tracks or a Rapsodo or a Pocket Radar or whatever you can to get your exit velo, do that and go with what feels the best for you, sounds the best to you, and ultimately, if you can stand it, get what gets you the best exit velo, and it's going to give you success at the plate. So I know that is a little bit of a tangent off of the new knob that we have, but ultimately, that's what's going to give you success, and I wanted to share that.
No, we appreciate that. And, we get a lot of people that call in and they're like, what is the best baseball bat for us? I'm like, oh, Lordy, we're going down a rabbit hole here. Like, you're going to always end up finding a different bat for every different kid in the lineup, just like you said. And it's funny, some people call and they'll say, hey, I have to have a Goods. And I'm like, well, how big is your kid? And they're like, 4'2", something, obviously I'm kind of stretching that, but there's a certain type of hitter for every single baseball bat that's on the market. Same thing with fast pitch, same thing with slow pitch, all the way across the board. And that's why there's so many different bats designed all the way from every manufacturer. It's not just one or two. every manufacturer does the exact same thing, and I think you guys do a very good job of giving every kid in that lineup a different opportunity and a different product to choose from the two-piece to the two-piece alloys to the two-piece composites, the one-piece alloys, the one-piece composites, etc. There's always something for every kid in that lineup. And I think what you guys are doing with the BBCOR bats and the models this year, I think you're going to earn a lot of respect back from your customers and especially your retailers, because, you know, we are the ones that usually have to field that outside of the 1-800 number. And I think that it's a fantastic thing that you guys are doing, man. We're excited to see what happens for 2024. That's for sure.
Cool. Well, we appreciate your support, and you guys are a great account in multiple levels. I appreciate the relationship that we all have, and yeah, I appreciate you having me on your podcast. If you have any other questions, you know, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
All right, Adam. We appreciate it, man, and thank you guys very much for tuning in. You can order your Voodoos on August 2nd at headbangersports.com, and I'm sure we're going to sell out within probably an hour. So if we are sold out, you can head over to DeMarini.com and purchase yours there, or do a custom Voodoo at any time. So thank you all for listening. Have a great day.
This ball is crushed.